on the winners list alongside Missy Giove, iconic name, and Miriam Nicole, another one of those riders on 10 wins, not racing today.
She's had quite a few wins and even an overall win in her career that they've kind of snuck up on us. Like, it's hard when you add up all those wins. You're like, oh wow, I didn't realize she won that many.
Yeah, she's one of few women to have won at new venues.
She had a bit of a rough morning in practice as well. Got caught up in one of those ruts down lower that just one wheel was in the high line, other was in the low line. So again, another rider that'll be looking for some extra little lines there. Carries a good amount of speed into the steep chute. Gets above the rocks, above the lines.
Yeah, she won at Snowshoe and Bielsko-Biała. First time we went to them.
His second split's looking good so far. Carrying some good speed, flying around the outside here in this key section.
Whoa, you see the back wheel try to get away from there. Cabaru did really, really well.
She brought it back a little bit. She carried some good speed along that bench. With a couple of corners to go, I think this might come back audibly hear how hard they're breathing coming into the final section.
She's got a lot of work to do in the overall. She wants to catch the leaders, and is that going to be enough today? Second place for her, 1.2 seconds back, Fabian Burrell. Applauds her. Will have been hoping for a bit more. Let's see how she's getting on in this one as we join the run live. Then she's 7/10 faster, Nico. This is looking good from Hoffmann up top.
I really like that line on the ski wall. She kind of went outside to outside, like opened the whole corner up and carried really good speed across the grassy off-camber.
Nico, do you think that also allows a little bit of less stress to go through the arms and the body? Like, it may be a little slower, obviously not for Nina, but it just helps you relax a bit and flow.
I like the lines that flow. You don't want to fight the bike. Ones that you have to brake hard and cut in, they're a lot more effort. So a line that you can go outside, carry it, keep momentum up and flow, it's going to be easier to do. And maybe it doesn't pay off in that exact meter, but 100 meters down the track, you're carrying more speed.
180 beats per minute in the Whoop Live. Zone 5, 90 to 100%, deep into the fuel tank.
This is where she's going to need to take some breath. So when your heart rate is that high, it means your blood's pumping around, your arms are getting more pumped up, your legs are starting to fatigue, and you can audibly hear the breathing as they come through some of these flatter sections. So she really needs to settle down here, breathe through that pumped in her arms to get through this bottom section.
This track the same length as we faced in Leogang, but with 200 vertical meters more. It's 2.7 seconds now for Nina Hoffmann. This is looking extremely promising for the Santa Cruz Syndicate star.
She's been really steady through this whole run. I haven't seen any mistakes and nothing that's been crazy either. She's just upped the pace slightly the whole way through.
And that's what we talked about, Josh, isn't it? You can push too hard whenever it's this loose. Nina Hoffmann has just chipped away at this and kept it extremely focused.
So smoothly through that off-camber section. It's hard to tell, but she made it look easy. I think she gained a lot of time in that section.
Carrying great speed through there. We saw the additional speed carrying it through that rut. She also looks like she's riding with an extra level of aggression than we've seen from the other riders so far, and it's showing with the timing.
Steve Pete from the Santa Cruz Syndicate watching on. He'll like what he sees.
Yeah, definitely likes what he sees.
4.9 seconds. It's split 4 for Nina Hoffmann as she rails around that left-hander.
That strength really paying off in this lower section. Will she get the inside line? Carries great speed out into the off-camber. Enough speed there to jump on top of it. That's going to result in some extra time here.
Gracey Hemstreet's fastest time from qualifying yesterday was a 4:04.9. Nina Hoffmann looks on course to smash that. Here comes the German Hoffmann across the line. 7.1 seconds faster. A 3:57 goes sub 4 minutes. The first woman to do so here in the Thuile this week. Nico, I'm going to put you on the spot. Is that going to be enough today?
It's going to be enough to be on the podium.
If anyone's going to lay it down, it is Valentina Höll. She's got a certain sparkle in her eye this week and a fire that we haven't seen before. I think she's been relishing this new challenge of how close... Oh, inside line there. I'm a big fan of that, Valentina Höll.
150 beats per minute now as she sets off. Nico, as I say in the interview earlier in the week, she said that she doesn't feel like she's riding any differently from last season. It's just that everyone else has incrementally stepped their game up.
For sure. It's interesting to hear that from her because that's exactly what I thought. And when you go out and lay it to everybody that bad like she did last year, they're all going to come back stronger. I think it raises the bar for everyone, and she's got to be happy that they're matching her this year because it's going to make her need to take it to the next level as
60 kilometers an hour into the woods for Valentina Höll. Let's see which line she takes across this bank, Josh.
Yeah, that was an incredible start. You could see she's just off the main line here. Gets that high line that Nico was a fan of, carrying good speed. She's slightly back at the moment, but again, we saw some negative geared splits from a lot of our riders here, so hopefully she can use that to her advantage and start to push as we get down into the steeps.
0.8 of a second back, so that tells us that Hoffmann was extremely fast across the start of this racetrack, Nico. Last win was in Leogang at her home round over 12 months ago now in 2024. She wants to get another one chalked off, and she wants to do it here in Thuile at a brand new venue.
Whoa, I wonder if that's going to cost her a little bit of speed there. Gets that outside line, misses the double jump into the corner. That could be a way to just take a bit of pressure off the arms as she comes into our steepest part of the track.
She's looking so good here, though, Höll.
Your entrance to this steep chute was visibly faster than anyone we've seen so far.
Visibly.
I think slow speeds like that in a steep section, you know, you can go 2K faster, you go 10K an hour versus 8K, the delta's a lot higher, so you can make time in those sections a lot quicker than some of the fast ones.
Valentina Höll just anchors up, tips into this really awkward right-hander.
Gotta say, Nina hit that a little smoother. We'll see if she can charge down here. It's not going the right way for the moment.
181, 182 beats per minute on the Whoop Live. 90 to 100% in zone 5 in the red zone for Valentina Höll. Just gets it done and no more. Valentina Höll heading towards the final drop into the finish arena here in Thuile.
She's looking aggressive. This is a strong run from Valley. It's not quite going her way right now.
Big performance from Valentina Höll, down the line, crosses it and goes second. 2.9 seconds slower than Nina Hoffmann. Nina Hoffmann survives, one of the biggest of the big names. Yeah, her last win was in Snowshoe, West Virginia back in 2022, but Nico, on her day, one off, if not the best in the world, this woman.
She was very dominant through those couple of seasons, 2020 to 2023. Few injuries, notably a big concussion in Enduro 2 years ago that she's still kind of coming back from.
That was a horrible crash that she went off that big road gap. And Josh, team you know well, Damien Smith runs a tight ship, doesn't he, at Yeti Fox, and Camille Balanche really proving that she deserves a spot on that team and that she can deliver for them. 0.4 of a second slower at Sector 1, has to hold on to that one though.
Look at how just wild it can get if you go off that main line. That one little bank coming down there can go wrong so quick. She's recovered well here. Hopefully she can reset before it gets real gnarly. Is there something going on with that front tyre?
She got
just a bit loose.
I think it's just sliding around.
Yeah, she just got sat upright, didn't she? Slightly into that turn in.
A lot of these ruts the riders are pushing on are not really ruts. They're just collections of dust. So if a couple riders start to push it, it starts to get a buckle in it, and it's not the same shape it was before. This is going to be evolving as the day goes on.
Look at that though, Josh. 2.9 seconds Hoffmann leads by. It's going to take a huge run from someone to take that win away from her.
For sure, and you can see Valley went 6 seconds faster than qualifying. Camille Balanche on the high line, missing the ruts, carrying
really
some great
nicely
speed
done through
out of that
Balanche.
corner. Yeah, Damo runs a great ship under that Yeti factory team. The entire team's put in an extraordinary amount of work. Amanda, Shauno, Richie, they've been working hard on that brand new bike. You can see how balanced it was at the top of the hill, and the results are starting to come together for Balanche.
She's 0.195 back here, Balanche. The aggression is paying off for her as she heads towards the third split.
She looks really solid through here. She's carrying good speed, and we haven't seen much crazy going on. I mean, it's her riding style, but...
Yeah, 2.5 seconds back. Maybe, Josh, you're right. That fatigue just starting to build for Balanche now.
Well, that aggression at the top, those little
she
mistakes.
didn't get the setup for that turn. She came inside on the berm, which is hard to do. You got to push back across. You're just being late to that. She gave up a little bit of time in the set.
Got to hit your marks the whole way down here in Thuile and keep that aggression piling on. And Balanche, it was going really well. She was in amongst a couple of mistakes up top, but just the intensity dropped towards the end of it. Balanche down the line, crosses it in third though, 4.3 seconds back. So onto the box for the time being for Yeti Fox, the 40th anniversary colours. Third place in the overall, and Nico, she needs a result this afternoon to stay in touch.
Yeah, she kind of threw a lot of points away last week in Val di Sole, but I think she can bring it all back. There's still quite a lot of racing to go this season.
Josh, we saw the bike pulled over at the side of the track during final practice this morning. Her brother Chaos just making a adjustment to what looked like the rebound settings. Is that just a bit of just moving with the track as it's changing?
Yeah, I think so. I heard from Greg Minnaar earlier today that the riders are constantly chasing their bike setup. Each practice section trying to make it harder and harder and slow the rebound down a little because it's getting so fast. The holes are getting so big. They want a harder suspension setup, so there's a bit more compression. Nico can talk more to us about that with his team setup, but it may be something where they're just chasing a little bit more support in those big holes.
0.4 seconds faster now at the first split for Tahnee Seagrave.
Yeah, she just missed the ran off track and just lost so much time. Didn't score any points in the last race.
That outside line's developing to be quite nice. You can see the extra speed they carry through the corner, and they miss that pocket of the bag. Tahnee rearranges the left-hander coming into the road gap.
She's kept that 0.4 seconds up a split too. Tahnee Seagrave for Orbea FMD on a run here in La Thuile.
The entire FMD team's been on it this weekend. They've got 2 riders in the top 10 in the elite men. Phoebe on a really good run today as well, so props to the whole team.
She has never won at a first-time venue. Tahnee Seagrave, can she change that today? One of 3 riders who are level on 10 wins apiece. Herself, Miriam, Nicole and Marine Caballero. Can Seagrave pull clear of the other 2 today?
Well, this is the section where we saw
Almost gets thrown out the front door from that impact. Apologies, Nico. She gets hung up in one of those holes in the corner.
Hoffmann has gone 2 seconds faster through that third split than anyone else, Josh. Absolutely imperious through there. Yes. There is the rider who leads this race on your screen now.
And Nina Hoffmann shaking her head in disbelief. The run that she put down is incredible. Tahnee is still charging all the way to the line. It's slightly going backwards here, but she needs to keep it on.
3.2 seconds back at split 4 for Tahnee Seagrave. Now this one's getting away from her, Nico.
Yeah, you saw she went inside in that berm as well, like you saw the last rider. Just didn't quite get the drive out of it.
Here comes Tahnee Seagrave. It started so well, but it's not going to be her day today. Tahnee Seagrave's win for win number 11 continues. 3rd place today for Tahnee Seagrave as things stand currently with 1 rider left at the top. A moment of quiet before the storm. Here comes Norco Race Division's Gracey Hemstreet. Out into the open, high above the finish arena in La Thuile. Nico, how do you rate the young Canadian rider's chances today?
From what I've seen on track, they're pretty high. She's been really committing to some of these steep sections, and if she can give that level of commitment and execute, I think it's going to be a really fast time.
Not going to lie, you're going to have to poke me here because I'm so keen on just watching this run in front of me. I think this track definitely suits Gracey Hemstreet's strengths. She's been riding so well every single day, every single lap. She's been growing and growing and growing, and now she's got that taste of victory. She knows what it takes. She's riding that confidence high, and we heard from Miriam earlier to say that can be dangerous to everyone else in the field.
1.9 seconds back though, Nico.
She's a lighter rider, I think maybe not carrying as much speed as some of the other girls, but as she gets through this turn, it's going to drop off and she's going to pick up speed.
She went 3 seconds faster than Hoffmann in Q1. Well, she was absolutely superb in Ludenvale, 2 seconds, so that time's calmed down by 2/10. Josh, she's taking some back.
Yeah, she's bringing a little bit back. She gets pulled up there. That's going to cost her that time. She has to fight to get that back now.
Minnaar knew it straight away when he saw it as well. Just nudged Kathy Sessler beside him. Spotted the mistake.
Gets a good amount of speed off that backside double jump there. That is blind and massive. Carries great speed through the key Oakley section. Slaps the rut. Thanks for coming. Come on, Gracey Hemstreet.
Is Gracey Hemstreet going to get win number 3, or is Nina Hoffmann going to get win number 4? Here comes the Canadian down towards the finish bowl for Norco Race Division. Who is going to take the win here in La Thuile? It's going to be Nina Hoffmann. Gracey Hemstreet goes 3rd fastest. Hoffmann wins in La Thuile ahead of Valentina Höll and Gracey Hemstreet. After that huge smash in Leogang at the start. I mean, barely a couple of weeks ago, Josh. Nina Hoffmann taste victory in La Thuile. What a result.
And you can see Tahnee Seagrave grabbing her in celebration and Nina wincing. So there's obviously still some residual pain in there, but what a moment for Nina to return after ejecting off the big wall ride in Leogang, battling through Val di Sole, and now putting down a phenomenal run on this brand new track here in La Thuile. The emotion, the stoke. Oh, wow, what a moment.
Nico, she qualified 5th yesterday, and My goodness, she put down a race run today.
I'm just such an emotional person. I could not believe it. Well, I came down to finish, turned around, and saw my time is under 4 minutes. And I had in my head the winning time is going to be under 4 minutes. I was like, whatever the other girls are doing, this was a really good run. And I'm just stoked about that already. And don't know how I ended up in P1.
For the results of the race then, Hoffmann, Höll, Hemstreet out front. Top 5, Camille Balanche rounding that off, covered by 4.3 seconds. Then it was Gale, Blewett, Caberu, Hrasnek. Nina Hoffmann, though, has rightfully so one of the biggest smiles in Italy. Adds her name to that list of riders to have won at a first-time venue. Hoffmann gets career victory number 4. Here in Thuile, in the Val d'Aosta. Hoffmann, Höll, Hemstreet, your top 3 in Italy. The confirmation of it, she does indeed, by 54 points now from Gracey Hemstreet. Tahnee Seagrave stays in 3rd place. That win of Hoffmann's moves her up into 6th. And here he comes. My name's Rick McLaughlin. Join me for this one, Nico Mullally. Nico, how impressive is this specimen on our screen now?
It's amazing to see how quickly he recovered. He had surgery something like 8 days ago. Already back on the bike and riding at this level. I almost want to say it's more impressive that he had to go through Q2 to do it and do it in 2 runs.
Piron is about to set our benchmark here in the elite race, and look at really good across there.
The confidence is there. Look at him charging.
The Animo is back in action here. Piron setting about the course here in Thuile.
Look at the entrance into that section. Not even worried about the gaps. Jumps the entire route section. This is an incredible run to start our downhill men's finals this afternoon.
Nico, you can't help but love what this man can do on a bike.
Yeah, I love the way he rides. He's just so strong on the bike, aggressive. It's a pleasure to watch.
Here comes Amaury Piron to give us our benchmark time in the elite men's race. Crosses the line, 3:33.4. Blackie, Stevens, McNabb then for Trek Factory Racing leaves the start hut. How do you rate this man's chances today, Josh, as we rejoin the run live at split 2? He's 2.5 seconds faster.
As we see a 2.5 second advantage.
Sets you up beautifully for that one.
I think Lockie is growing into this role in the Trek Factory Racing team. There's a lot of pressure for him to step up to such a big racing scenario. The custom bike they have underneath them, they've been working extremely hard to get that set up for him and the entire team. Now Ollie Davis is out with a broken wrist. Lockie and Matt Walker are left to really lead the team by example, and with a ride like this, and he goes 3 seconds faster than Jordan Williams, a steep track like this will feed Lockie's ability to send it. He loves hitting that send button, and on a loose track like this, it's made. Launches all the way up onto that grassy off-camber. Almost tucks the front, there's 1 to go. Come on, Lockie.
Really nice line through there. Lockie Stevens McNabb heading for the hot seat here in Thuile in the Val d'Aosta, and goes fastest by 1.8 seconds. So Trek Factory Racing leading the way here. Ryan likes what he sees. Rattling through them now. Here comes Henry Kiefer. Big send off there.
Kiefer was the fastest in the time training session on the first day, and he's looked incredible all weekend. I think taking some confidence out of the last couple races. He had a podium in Leo Gang, another good result in Val di Sole. He's been really building into his elite season.
Gets the pre-jump. I've been waiting for that all weekend. He's slightly back at split 2 for the moment.
Yeah, really cool to see. I mean, Fabian told me he's been on the Canyon team since he was 12 years old.
He's faster by 100th of a second. Henry Kiefer here, attacking in La Thuile.
It's awesome to see a guy they've been invested in for so long coming around and delivering. Obviously had a great junior career with the World Championship, but into Elite, he's really putting the good results in.
This is great from Kiefer. This is charging all the way to the line. He's going to come out to the final drop here.
Kiefer down the line now. Is Henry Kiefer going to go faster in La Thuile? No, second by 9/10 of a second. So Lachie Stevens McNabb absolutely superb in that final split, but Henry Kiefer likes the time anyway. Loris Vergier on course now, the UCI downhill world champion, and it's getting heavier at the top, Nico.
Yeah, you can see that rain starting to come down. This may start to affect the race. But he's up at the split. I mean, considering that rain in this grass section, he's making the most of the conditions he has.
6/10 of a second now. It's split one ahead for Vergier already, but Josh, the wind and rain picking up down here in the finish bowl. Needs a win.
He's right in touch here. 2 splits down, and he's well within the time of Lachie Stevens.
3/10 of a second at split 2. What's it going to be at split 3? Nico, this is looking good for the world champion.
Yeah, pretty far inside there to miss some of the holes, and then this turn as well. Catches the main support at the edge of the turn. I would guess that this track has Loris's name on it. He's good on steep sections. He's really light on his feet, really gentle with the inputs to the bike.
Really nice
grip here. He can get away with these insides and still make the exit speed.
Big exit speed out of that left-hander. Vergier looking like he's on a run here. Second faster now at split 3 for Loris Vergier. From Commensal muck-off by Riding Addiction. The rain starting to come down at the bottom here in La Thuile.
Got that same gap that Amory did into there. And with this rain coming down, as we said before, Riley can make the most of these conditions while they have it. If the conditions start to go away, they can get a solid time down now. That may pay off big time in the long term.
Vergier holding that inside rock, goes inside over that crest as well.
Gets the outside line there. Now this carries great speed into this next bridge. Really can hold a higher speed over the bridge.
2.2 seconds, 2.2 seconds, a split 4 now for Loris Vergier. Is he on the cusp of his first really big result for Commensal?
Makes you wonder if he may have got a bit of information from the all-round boys earlier today from junior finals. This is looking great from Loris Vergier. One of the best runs we've seen from the current world champion.
Here comes Loris Vergier now down towards the line. Is he going to go into the hot seat? Loris Vergier goes fastest in La Thuile by 2.4 seconds. 3:27.7, the fastest time of the day so far. Vintage Vergier, he's back. Ronan Dunne for Mondraker Factory Racing, and this, as ever, is going to be exciting. Here comes Ronan.
Was aggressive right off the start. You know, we know
in a shock move.
we know Ronan's going to go for it, but the past couple race runs he's done has been surprisingly calm and collected.
6/10 of a second in touch with Vergier. Sorry to interrupt you, Nico.
Yeah, that didn't seem to slow him down much. This is what we expect to see. Dirt flying from Ronan. And he's matching Loris really well.
0.6 of a second back. He is well within touch with how wild this run is getting. Ronan's been fighting to find that form and that upper speed the last couple of races. He's a man we expect to be on the podium, and we expect to lay something down that is hectic. Ronan Dunne is on fire here today.
His girlfriend watches on at the bottom. That can't be an easy shift. Watching Ronan. Here he comes. Left. Oh, God, absolutely destroys that corner, but he's lost the second up there. Ronan Dunne. Big crash down heavily in La Thuile. Oh, what could have been for Ronan Dunne? He's down holding his side. Hopefully he's all right. Well, there is a great sight. Ronan Dunne up on his feet. Still with the medical crew. Andy Kolb up there as well.
Troy is going for it. Those insides look really aggressive from him.
You can see how much wetter it was too.
It's almost a similar situation to where he was last year in St. Anne, raining right before the final run, and he got it done there.
He's within a second as well, and I was going to theorise something you touched on earlier, Nico, that a wise old head might see some of that moisture as a potential a track where there might actually be more grip than you're expecting there be.
Yeah, if you can use that experience and maybe put your inputs to the bike and weight the ground where you know there's support, it can actually help you out. I mean, a lot of this dusty, dry terrain doesn't have much grip already, so you're just using your experience to know where that grip is as the weather conditions change. It looked like if he was doing the outside setup, he'd want to cut across high, and maybe he just didn't get turned as much as he wanted to, had to drop low to avoid pushing the tires.
Another rider, but like we mentioned with the Prella, it's sort of one bogey result has got him higher in
Just
the
a slight slide
overall
out there.
than he would have liked.
Didn't even take the hand off the bar, so he'll be okay, but just going to lose a few seconds at that tip over.
Slides out there, Josh. And I was just about to say that, yeah, it's basically, it was one bogey result before today that sort of affected that overall stand-ins, but Brosnan in the wars here. Yeah, turbulent scenario is probably the right words. Troy Brosnan comes down to the line, 11.2 seconds back in 15th place. Racing is going to be suspended, hopefully not for too long after that run. The weather causing big technical problems up on the hillside for us here in La Thuile. Here he goes. Loïc Bruni leaves the Star Hut and heads onto the steepest UCI Downhill World Cup track in history. 28% average gradient here in La Thuile. What has Super Bruni got for it?
Really nice in that first turn. He went kind of a midline. He didn't go super tight inside, but inside of the holes.
Look at the balance of his bike coming down there, carrying great speed, just clicking over 70 kilometers an hour under the Red Bull arch. Exiting with extreme speed. Gets the ball in the corner. Loïc Bruni means business here this afternoon.
Inside, pulls across the gap, gets it done. What's the first split going to say for Bruni? He's lost a pedal though, has to clip back in again. 0.5 of a second slower than Lars Vergier across there, but Nico was just searching for the pedal for a second there.
Yeah, that might have been where he lost the 0.5. Man, that big huck that he did was pretty cool. I think Max Arlen was the only one we saw do it so far today. But 0.5 is the best that we've seen in the past few riders. I think he's well within touch to bring this back to Lars.
Look how just planted he is on the bike down through there. Bruni gets that gap, lands it deep, Josh.
And it's great to hear Loïc have to kind of set his plan. Like, he's been charging, trying to figure out how to adapt to this new way of racing that Jackson is showing him. Loïc Bruni is one of our greatest ever, and he's had to really dig in and focus here. He's had a certain fire in his eye this weekend, and this track he's been enjoying in particular, and enjoying the process inside there, misses the breaker bumps.
Yeah,
gets a little huck and carries great exit speed. This is looking good so far. He's going to bring back a little bit of time.
Got the win in Bielsko-Biała at the start of the year in Poland. Loïc Bruni, 162 beats per minute on the Whoop Live, floats across the road gap, really nicely done. 0.2 of a second faster, split 2 for Bruni now. First time we've seen the lights go green in a while. That time of Lars Vergier's in trouble now. Nico Mullally.
This is a classic Bruni run. He hasn't put a tire wrong yet.
This is vintage UCI Downhill World Cup. Vergier and Bruni going at it here in La Thuile.
Oh, it doesn't get much better, does it? He's slower, now he's faster, and he's slower. Let's see what happens in the fourth split. A ding-dong battle between Vergier and Bruni, two of the biggest names in the business on this brand new course.
Here we go, split inbound. Bruni a second back now on the time of Vergier. It's advantage Vergier. What one to go here in La Thuile?
It looked like he carried really good speed into that splits though, so he maybe have enough to bring this back.
168, 170 beats per minute on the Whoop Live. 90 to 100% into the red zone for the man in red, Super Bruni. On course. Can he beat Lars Vergier today? Loïc Bruni heads towards the finish line. Is it going to be enough? Bruni goes second fastest by 0.4 of a second here in La Thuile. Laurent Delorme, not what he wanted to see. Vergier hangs on. Hey, Lucas Shaw leaves the Star Hut for the Canyon Collective. Neatly done.
He's so calmly aggressive. It's like you can't tell how hard he's pushing because he's so precise with the bike. His inputs are so intentional.
Oh, Lucas Shaw! Feet off, keeps her moving though.
Tries to drag the knee in the last corner before the speed trap. Look at it, he's lost a little bit of speed there. Didn't quite click that 70-kilometer-an-hour mark. Mistakes like that, you can't get away with that anymore. You used to be able to get away with it and bring it back, but you have to be on point from the start to finish. Oh, gets a little bit hung up there. He's got a couple of corners to go.
Still really nicely done from Lucas Shaw though. Still hopefully some good points for him in the overall. Crosses the line, 12th today. 6.2 seconds back, and now it's a one-on-one show. Vergier is going to come under pressure from Jackson Goldstone. Jackson Goldstone for the Santa Cruz Syndicate leaves the start hut in La Thuile.
Last time we had 4 wins in a row from Aaron, Jackson was merely 8 years old watching the American superstar on telly. He said he had a messy run yesterday. He was shocked with how quick he rode Q1. He's seen that there's more time in the track with Loris, Loïc and the Allround brothers. This is going to be electric to watch today.
You've got to go back to 2012 for the last time someone did 4 in a row. Jackson Goldstone sets off in La Thuile. Really neatly done through there. We know Vergier was mesmerising up top. Has Goldstone got the beating off it? What is this next time going to tell us on a topsy-turvy day here in Italy? Jackson Goldstone is back on the clocks by 0.7 of a second, but Nico, that's closer than just about anyone's been.
I think
it's big moment there.
Right where he needs to be. I mean, naturally that section's flatter. It wasn't going to suit him anyway, but I think if he can get to here and really open it up, he's got a really good shot at this.
Now coming into these steep sections, this is where we expect Jackson to be able to swap direction and pull up and accelerate very, very well. It's one of his strengths. He can hug and butter every backside through the rest of this section here. This is where it needs to count. He is well within touch. Obviously, it's practically identical to Loris Vergier. From here, gets the inside line.
Really nicely done.
He's such a good rider on these steep sections. He's light. He's able to keep his inputs to the bike really intentional. I think that pays off in these steep sections where he can come in, brake later, and gain time.
It's been 1,037 days since Loris Vergier's last UCI World Cup win. Is that wait going to continue? Jackson Goldstone is 1/10 of a second outside of his time. He hasn't turned the lights green yet.
He hit the inside line when he crossed that road and still managed to carry really good speed. We haven't seen many people be able to do the inside and carry good speed across the right-hand turn.
Carries exceptional speed through that Oakley root garden there. There's 2 sections to go that are crucial right now. 0.1 of a second back. He's the first rider we've seen to backside the berm as he comes into the 4th split.
Big pull. He's faster by 0.2 of a second. Nina Hoffmann. Is it going to be double bubble for the Santa Cruz Syndicate today? Steve Pete looks on at the bottom. We're all looking up to see what Jackson Goldstone, can he make it 4 in a row? Vergier's time is looking in trouble here in La Thuile.
Vergier made up 1.3 of the bottom of the track.
Here we go, Jackson Goldstone down towards the line. Is it going to be 4 in a row? It is! 0.6 of a second. The first time since Aaron Gwynn did it in 2012. Jackson Goldstone wins 4 UCI Downhill World Cups in a row. The Santa Cruz Syndicate have themselves a day here in La Thuile.
Wow. Extraordinary run. Yesterday, Jackson made up so much time in the final split, and today he does it again right when it counts. He negative split at the top of the hill. We apologise for Peter's excitement. He negative split it at the top of the hill and he fed it all the way down when it counts. He went back at split 1, back at split 2, but he pulled it back for split 3, split 4, and that pivotal split 5 to claim a record-setting 4th in a row.
Nico, we're running out of superlatives for what this young man is accomplishing in 2025, and he's had to do that one the hard way, as Josh said.
We just went 1-1. You were
So fucking tight. Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm on a roll. That's such a crazy feeling being able to do 4 in a row. Man, I cannot believe that just happened. But you know, it felt right during the whole run. I was stoked with everything. Had a few moments. The dust is so soft here and so powdery that it's really hard to not get sunk in and have those mistakes. But I pushed through and just gave it everything all the way down to the bottom, and it was good enough. I haven't even seen the time, so I know it was tight, but man, that feels good.
There is the results then. Goldstone, Vergier, Bruni in first, Stevens, McNabb, Kiefer, Maples, Mays, O'Callaghan, Williams, Piron in 10th. How impressive is that? Jackson Goldstone takes his 4th win in a row in 2025. Moves within 1 in the overall wins tally of the man in second place today, Loïc Vergier. 6 wins now for Goldstone. Bruni a bit further up the road on 11, excuse me. Third place today, so it's Goldstone, Vergier, Bruni. So here's how the overall looks then. Bruni's 195 points behind the man who cannot stop winning, Jackson Goldstone. Vergier's in third, and Piron up in fourth place with a freshly plated collarbone. Shaw's in fifth. Deprella, O'Callaghan, Brosnan, Williams, Pinkerton behind them.